Welcome back, gamers, to a regular episode of the Slow Run Cast. I am your host, Iraqi Balboa, here to have a regular episode after, 4 or 5 special episodes?
Yeah, just everything is special again.
State of Play, Switch 2, State of Play predictions, Clear Obscure, spoiler cast. So we've been busy. Back to regular schedule now. Of course, I'm joined by my co-host, the Durwinator, or as it is a special episode, because this episode we are going to be entering into Durwin's Mindsye. So stay tuned to the end and we'll find out what's going on in this man's mind's eye, not in his mind.
Oh my god. I can't believe you made me play this game.
Yeah, Durwin is, if anyone's just joining the podcast recently, Durwin is our resident. Play any game that looks like it might be bad and review it.
Yeah.
But I heard he's having a great time. With Mindsye. He'd rather be playing it than his
game
Switch
of the year. Game of the year. Hands down.
Right. Well, let's hold on to that. Let's get through our news, and then we'll let you go deep into what seems to be one of the greatest releases of all time. So we have about half a week of news to catch up on because we recorded kind of midweek there, and we caught up on some Summer Games Fest stuff and a few things earlier in the week. But I think one of the big things that happened later in this week was Sony had their what do they call it? Business segment meeting. And they discussed everything PlayStation. Well, I guess it's Sony Interactive Entertainment's business segment meeting. I don't know if it's like across the board Sony. And some interesting things came up. Sony says PS6 is top of their mind right now. They're exploring new ways to enhance play. They don't believe that cloud gaming is like the future. They think it's an additional option. And they're like full steam ahead. I don't know like how far along they are in developing this thing, but they are thinking about the PS6 actively. Just I guess their console releases have been 7 years apart. That was the case between for the PS4 generation. That was the case for the PS3 generation. PS2 was about 6 years. The PS1 was about 6 years. There are reports that this might be an 8-year for the PS5.
Yeah, I think PS3 to PS4 was 8 years too, right?
No, it was 2006 to 2013. 360 came out a year before the PS3, so the 360 was technically 8 years to the Xbox One.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll definitely see a longer generation gap this year, just given the climate of everybody spending.
Which is interesting that you brought that up because as part of this meeting, Sony has confirmed that the PS5 has more monthly players than the PS4 for the first time.
So adoption is still not.
It's been slow. We are in 2025. The PS5 has been out for 4.5 years. Based on previous console life cycles, it means we actually technically have 2.5 years of PS5 before the PS6 if they follow the previous kind of trajectory that they've been, that they've had on previous console cycles. So 2.5 years left before a new console, and only now are we getting an adoption rate enough to surpass the previous console generation, which I think is pretty crazy.
Yeah. And do you feel like the PS4 to PS5 was a big performance gain enough to warrant like a purchase though? Like, are people just subjective. Not buying it because they feel like the PS4 is still doing good to this day?
Well, it was more expensive. Games were still coming to PS4. COVID, people couldn't get their hands on this thing anyway. Like Ragnarok came out to PS4. Horizon Forbidden West came out on PS4 as well. Gran Turismo. I mean, I think it was not until like late 2023 with like Spider-Man 2 when they seemed to stop putting all their first party games on PS4 as well. So I don't know. I think that does have an effect. Like, I don't think a lot of people are sensitive. Like, yeah, I tell you, I love my PS5. I love the SSD speed, how there's no load screens. I love the higher frame rate. I love all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, really, if I didn't buy a PS5, would I have noticed? I wasn't complaining about my PS4.
That's
so I
true.
don't know. But yeah,
I've never played the PS4 version of Miles Morales and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I played Spider-Man on PS4 when it came out, and I loved that game.
That's true.
And it was great. I played Last of Us 2 on PS4. I played Ghost of Tsushima on PS4, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually crazy. Like, I associate all those with like PS5, but come to think of it, those are all PS4 games, and that's when I played them. So I don't know. I mean, I did play Miles Morales on PS5, but
yeah, I just find it so hard to go back to like the slow load screens and the DualSense controllers is so good.
But unless you've experienced it, does it really? Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, does COD still come out on PS4, or have they just finally stopped doing that? Right? I mean, think about it. COD's like probably the biggest console seller. Yeah, I bet you these PS5s only started selling this much because everybody thought GTA 6 was coming out.
That's true, and GTA 6 would definitely be a only PS5 launch, most likely, right?
Yeah, 100%. It would not be. It would not be on PS4. Yeah, I don't know. Of course, think about PS3 to PS4 because they didn't have that backwards compatibility. Games that started coming out on PS4 later on, like they wouldn't work on your PS3. Same thing with PS2 to PS3. So it's a different equation altogether. In addition to all this, Hidekiya Nishino, who is the new president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, he was also, in addition to discussing PS6 and PS5 finally, PS5 usership finally overtaking PS4. They also were discussing the Switch 2 release and if there were any concerns from Sony about the Switch 2's improved specs and Nintendo's improved relationships with third-party publishers, if this would provide tougher competition for PlayStation in the years coming. And they said they will closely monitor the overall gaming industry, including the actions of other market participants. And they still think that PS5 is king for the console experience on the big screen, and that the performance of the Switch 2 is not there yet. And yeah, they kind of downplayed it, I guess. I mean, I don't know how else they would react to it, but yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong though, right?
Yeah, they think they're still in a good market position to continue what they're doing, and they don't think that this improved tech from the Switch 2 is going to be enough for
I think most people that are like into gaming see Switch 2 as an additional console that you would add to,
unless you were a primary Nintendo person. Now these third-party releases are like an additional bonus for you almost. Yeah. They also mentioned the increasing prices of PlayStation Plus, and they said that they will continue to adjust the PS Plus pricing as more players choose higher tiers. So they aren't backing down. Like, I know we got a price increase on PS Plus in Canada recently, which is the third in the PS5 generation, either the second or the third, I can't remember. They're saying they're getting more users than ever in the higher tiers. Right now, they're sitting at 38% of subscribers to PlayStation Plus are in the premium or extra tier, which is interesting. So it's still the majority of people are only at essential. 62%. I am surprised that premium actually has more users than extra, and always has for the last few years. Premium has 22% and extra has only 16%, which I feel like extra is definitely worth the extra money, but premium with like not offering anything besides classic games and trials, I don't know if it has that value to kind of, bring in that many players, but I guess it is, yeah. And it's been increasing year after year, so don't expect that they're gonna stop. I think they're gonna just keep assessing it and see.
So you know how Netflix is putting out ad subscription tiers. How mad would you be if they slightly reduced the price of Essential and added ads that would show up on your PlayStation's home screen?
I feel like this has been like something that has been suggested multiple times by EA, by I don't know who else, Ubisoft, and it's just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we've been hearing about this since like 2016, 2017, getting ads somehow in your games. I don't think anything's come to fruit. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not too concerned. I don't think that's going to go that way.
Yeah. The only thing I ask is because, like, I mean, if you think about it, there's actually quite a bit of ads already.
There is,
like, subconsciously, like, yeah, they have their sales up all the time. Like, they have info on their new launches or new titles that are coming. So, like,
yeah, they they pay for ads to have them on the PlayStation Store or the Microsoft Store. You could see,
Yeah.
It's just because it's in a game store already. It's like, well, I'm already looking for stuff, but it is like an ad for that game.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's not that much of a stretch, or like, they don't increase or they don't decrease the price of Essential and just say that there will be ads and then not give you an option and force you to the extra and the premium if you don't want to see those.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Essential used to be like $70 for the longest time before it was called Essential, when they just used to call it PS Plus. And there used to be like the PS Now thing, but now we're up to like $90 Canadian or 100.
I think it's 90, right? I don't know. I stopped paying for PS Plus. Like, I just don't see the value in it.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, don't expect this. They're saying they're going to continue to add more value to PS Plus, but don't expect price drops or anything, or the price to be fixed. Like, they'll keep hiking it up the more people play for it.
Yeah, and they keep saying that, but like, have they really added much more value? Like, the only thing recent memory that I can remember is that they added like Sony movie streaming to the most
they added
premium tier, right?
PSVR 2 games as well to the premium tier, but only a handful of titles. Every now and then they have a game that releases day one on the thing, and they market it pretty heavy. I think the first of those was like Stray back in 2022.
Oh yeah.
But then they had like Tachia. They had recently Blueprints, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. They have like these AA or really high profile indie games that kind of release day one into PS Plus, extra.
Premium?
No,
Premium?
extra, not premium.
Okay.
And sometimes they have games that come out to Essential day one, but yeah, I don't know. It's definitely not a Game Pass, that's for sure. Game Pass has way more like day and date releases on the thing. And Game Pass, all the first party games from Microsoft are day and date, which before wasn't saying much, but as of recent, as of at least the last year, it is saying a lot.
Yeah,
Call of
the
Duty,
Alters
Black
just
Ops
came
6,
out this week, day one.
Alters just came out, and FBC Firebreak's coming out. I know you don't want to hear about FBC Firebreak, but that's coming out next week. Rematch, the game from the Seafood developers, the soccer game from the Seafood developers, is coming out on Game Pass as well. There was the game from the Lost and Random developers. And of course, the first party lineup has been insane. In July, we're going to get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on Game Pass. We just got Doom Eternal. The Dark Ages. Arguably, we got Game of the Year so far on Game Pass. That's how I played it. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We have South of Midnight that you played and you liked. We had Oblivion remake. I mean, I can't even keep track. They've had a really good. They've had a like really good year on Game Pass, or at least like even going back to October last year with Call of Duty and Stalker 2 and Microsoft Flight Sim, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Really, they've been pushing out at least one big AAA, day and date release on Game Pass. Yeah, PS Plus cannot compete with that. Game Pass is also more expensive, right? So, but PS Plus has been, it's been steadily making its way, trying to catch up to that price. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they have a lot of like good games on extra that come out, after release, but day and date, not really, right?
Yeah,
you're not getting a big title day and date.
Yeah, extra just includes like some of their OG, like I guess OG,
of course,
if you're titles, right?
If you're catching up on games, it's a very good service, I think.
Yeah.
If you're catching up on games, like Ghost of Tsushima is on that thing, Death Stranding is on that thing, Ratchet and Clank is on it, Returnal is on it. The Last of Us, they add it, then they take it off every time they do a remaster thing. They do this really nasty thing where they take off the game from PS Plus Extra to do like a remastered. I think they did it with Days Gone.
They also did that, yeah.
They did that with Horizon.
Yeah, and you can't do the upgrade packs too, right?
Yeah, they did it with Spider-Man, the PS4 version of Spider-Man when they did the remaster PS5 version. Yeah, they've been pretty nasty like that, but trying to get like an extra $10-15 from you. I think Ragnarok is on the service. OG God of War 2018 is on the service. So if you're catching up on games, it's really great. And then there's a bunch of like third-party stuff on there as well. But like if you're like day and date and stuff like that, I don't know if this was also part of this little kind of meeting that they had, but this is from Herman Holst, not the other fella, which I forgot his name, Hideki Nishino. He was saying Sony remains committed to diverse and resilient live service games, including forthcoming marathon fair games, despite the high-profile failures. So yeah, they're going in all in on live service. I don't think they're going to stop. They already bought. Remember, they already started another development studio that's doing live service. I think we talked about it about a month ago. I even forgot its name. But yeah, I mean, I think that was the spin-off of Bungie that's doing that Gummy Bears game. So yeah, I mean, they're not stopping, man. I think the Helldivers success was good enough for them that they're going to keep going. Marathon is still scheduled to come out in September. We don't know about fair games, but we'll see. I mean, we had that. What's her name there? The studio head quit. So, and then lastly, they're saying they're really thoughtful and picky about which games they port to PC. They're saying that the games have been typically arriving a year later, but Herman Holst has been quoted saying that they don't want to go that like the Xbox route and just put everything everywhere at once, because they want to protect the value of the PS5 console, which makes sense. Because I mean, if everything comes out day and day on PC, I mean, we could see the situation with Xbox. Microsoft has just decided that they're willing to not really sell a console very well or sell hardware very well. In addition, just make more software sales, and that's why they're putting everything day and date on Sony, on PC, and everything. So doesn't look like Sony wants to go down that route, but they're kind of on the fence. They're tinkering with it. They're still putting PC ports. Yeah, so that was a lot of like business stuff from Sony. And speaking of PC ports, Stellar Blade becomes the second PlayStation published game to pass 100,000 concurrent players on Steam.
I think they're the most sold now, right? Like the most sold PS port.
This might be a little bit old, so it might be. Yeah, well, Helldivers, no, of course, Helldivers is better. But I mean, outselling Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, Spider-Man Remastered, Horizon Forbidden West, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Last of Us Part 1, God of War Ragnarok, The Last of Us Part 2. Those are some crazy numbers. I think only one could guess why.
Is it that crazy? Is it that crazy mod I sent you?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna mention that on this. I'm not even gonna bring that up.
Yeah. So I do see an article here. They crushed the PlayStation PC record with 183,000 concurrent players on Steam.
Yeah, some of these are. I just searched up Stellar Blade PC mods. Jeez.
God.
Jeez, bro.
Those gooners.
This is something else. Anyway, we don't need to talk about it. You can only imagine. Yeah, so, I mean, we know that Stellar Blade 2 is apparently coming sooner than later, so I wonder if that's going to come to PC day and date, or if it's still going to have some publishing thing with Sony. That's a studio that's doing great. A studio that's not doing good. And honestly, I feel like this is a studio that's been just getting the short end of the stick from Sony for freaking years now. Sony's Bend Studio hit with massive layoffs after the live service game canceled. We talked about their canceled live service game, I don't know, maybe feels like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, apparently 30% of the workforce has been laid off. That's 40 people. I just feel bad for Bend, man. They released Days Gone back in 2019. It didn't come out to the greatest reviews. Sony did not greenlight a sequel to it. Made them instead work on this live service game for the last few years. Canceled the live service game. The only thing they've released since is this, not remake or remaster for Days Gone for PS5. It sucks. I just feel like this studio.
Yeah, they just treat them like Cinderella.
Honestly, they treat them like, they are the stepchild. It's just so sad. Like, I just feel like the last 10 years is just not, And then before that, they were doing like PS Vita games and PS Portable games for like Resistance. And
so they were always
Uncharted.
the stepchild.
Yeah. So it's been a minute since Siphon Filter days. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this one. Honestly, I'm surprised the studio's not closed. I don't want to say that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And their old boss left a long time ago. If you remember, I think back in like 2021 or something, he left after...
was it after they denied
Days
Gone too? Yeah.
You like Days Gone, right? You played it.
Well, yeah, I loved it. Like, it's just
it always interested me, but
it's such a almost like a heartwarming game. You play as like this biker dude, and like
it's always interested me, but
Yeah, dude, the one side character, which is like your brother-in-law, so good. I love him.
Yeah, maybe one day, man.
You should play it, man. They just remastered it. It's a good time.
Maybe I'll play the remaster. Did you ever play Jumping Flash from back in the day?
No.
I didn't even know what Jumping
What
Flash was. I didn't know what Jumping Flash was until I played Astrobot, and there was a cameo for Jumping Flash. It was some PlayStation 1 cult classic where there's like this mechanical robot thing that jumps. And they were saying they were making a PlayStation VR and VR2 game for it.
The graphic looks super familiar.
Yeah, Shuhei Yoshida has said that they were marketing that they were working both on. They were working on a Jumping Flash game for PSVR. It was in the early stages of development, but was canceled. Shuhei Yoshida's just been going around and like dropping all the deets for the last 2 months since he quit from Sony. Yeah, he just doesn't care. He's like, I'm telling everybody everything.
He didn't sign that NDA before he left. He just walked out the door.
I mean, I don't know if it's a big deal, right? I don't think he's saying anything crazy. Yeah. Last little bit of Sony news that came out this year was apparently Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has a hidden mini game that has gone undiscovered for 4 years. One of the designers was on stream showing a never discovered hidden game where when you go to that hub place Xerxes where you do like those arena challenges and stuff, apparently you do this like whole cheat thing where you shoot left, right, whatever on these two icons and whatnot, and then there's like this riding bull mini game that you can play. The riding bull mini games is like it's not even like fully developed, but he just decided to leave it in the game. So it's crazy. Nobody's figured this out. He's just like, yeah. Nobody's figured this out at this point, so
yeah, he's gonna unveil the secret.
Yeah, so he just showed it. It was pretty cool. I don't think it was something to go crazy over because it's not even like a full-fledged thing. It's just like still in the game, incomplete. But yeah, so I don't know. I thought it was funny. I watched the video there. I was gonna like ready to download
it again.
But then I saw the video and I'm like, nah, it's not really.
Yeah, it's probably just like a super small thing that they added as a little Easter egg.
Yeah. So that's a lot of Sony news for this week. Surprisingly, it's been a minute. Nintendo, of course, had their big launch, and the numbers are finally coming up. And it seems like the Nintendo Switch 2 has sold 3.5 million units in 4 days, which is likely the biggest console launch ever. It is for sure the biggest Nintendo console launch ever. It's officially the fastest selling Nintendo Switch system ever. And I mean, partly because supply has been readily available for sure. Like we cannot downplay that how important that's been and how fast the console's been selling. And Famitsu sales data shows that Switch 2 sold 3 times more than the Switch 1 at launch in Japan, and it's cleared 1 million units in Japan, making it by far Japan's biggest ever console launch. So even after all the fears of the tariffs, even after all the price hike, the extremely high price for both the games, the accessories, the console itself, it has not slowed this thing down. It's basically breaking all records right now. The way Nintendo wanted. I think they were expecting to actually sell more, but the higher price they were saying was an issue. It was slowing it down, but it's insane. It's crazy. Like all the haters didn't matter. Moving on to some Xbox news. There's been rumors that the pre-orders for the ROG Ally should be expected to begin in August and the launch to be 2 months later in October. There are rumors about what the retail price in Europe is going to be. It's some pretty crazy stuff. I think both me and you thought it would be crazy. You're looking at 900 euros for the ROG Ally X and 600 euros for the
regular Ally.
For the regular Ally, the Xbox Ally. That's pretty wild. That is, of course, more than a Series X, which I don't know. I mean, I just don't. I think we talked last week about like what the hell's the difference between this and a regular ROG Ally. I kind of looked into it a little more. And I can't remember if we discussed on the podcast a few weeks back the whole Lenovo Legion Go S Steam OS thing. Apparently, this Xbox ROG Ally is attempting to kind of rectify some of the issues with using Windows 11 as a OS for a handheld.
Yeah. I think I mentioned that as well when we were talking about it.
Oh, yes, maybe. I didn't. Yeah, anyway, I looked into it, and yeah, it seems like they're trying to like stop, like it's Windows 11.
But a super modded version of it that doesn't run a lot of the background processes until you actually like launch into the window mode.
Yeah. They're trying to kind of get up to where Steam OS is on like a Lenovo
Legion OS.
running? No, what is Steam OS running on?
It's running on Linux.
Linux. Yeah. So yeah, it does seem promising. And if you could get Game Pass on it, plus Steam, plus GOG, plus Epic Game Store, looks really good. But I mean, for that price, that's pretty brutal, man. You gotta wait and see. This thing's got to be amazing. 900 euros. That's gonna be over $1,000 Canadian.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be picking this up.
Yeah,
like unless this is replacing one of my consoles, then no.
Yeah, it seems really promising still. Like, yeah, I mean, if the lower one is 600 euros, it's gonna be like 800 CAD. It's yeah. So there's also word on the street, and I've been noticing this at when we go to GameStop, or I think recently I noticed it at Walmart too. It doesn't seem like people are selling physical Xbox games at retail anymore. And word on the street is Microsoft currently isn't offering physical pre-orders for Gears of War Reloaded on Xbox. Just PS5, and then some games going forward, like Outer Worlds 2, are only going to get physical discs on their PS5 version. Physical discs on their PS5 version, and their physical Xbox versions are just going to be a code. So I don't expect, like, I've been seeing less and less physical Xbox games, and I think this is going to be the last console with a disc drive for sure. Whatever their next console is going to be. Yeah, not surprised.
That's sad to see. They basically like accelerated the death of physical media, I feel.
But then also Game Pass, I feel like a lot of Xbox users probably are playing mostly their games on Game Pass and not buying physical games.
Yeah, that's
like I haven't bought a single physical Xbox game ever. And I have a bunch of like PS5 ones. I do not have a Series X game at all. Actually, speak of that. Let me Google when this Hellblade 2 physical's coming out so I don't miss it. Still no word on the street yet. Like, please, man, I want this thing so bad.
The desperation in your voice.
Yeah. Konami had I think we mentioned this, they had their whole little Summer Games Fest event, which they only announced end of week. We have discovered that they're working on a Silent Hill 1 remake following the success of the Silent Hill 2 remake, and it is also being developed by Bloober Team. So Bloober Team has been busy. They have another game coming out this year, and they're working on this remake, so it's going to be wild. We also got confirmation. I know there was rumors and suspicions that there was a Metal Gear multiplayer mode associated with Metal Gear Solid Delta. They've confirmed that it's true. It is not Metal Gear Online. It is this completely original multiplayer mode for Metal Gear Solid Delta, or Metal Gear 3 remake. So yeah, wondering if this thing has any legs, but curious to try it end of the summer when this game comes out. And then last little thing to top up the news week is the Summer Games Fest reports highest ever viewership. Year on year, it's getting more and more numbers, and the numbers were up 89% year on year. So I know we were kind of not really happy with what we saw this year, but this thing is effectively replaced, I think, E3 now, and Jeff Keighley's probably having a good time.
Yep, he's hanging out with his favorite person, Hideo
Kojima. Yeah, I think Hideo Kojima is having like a major like midlife crisis right now. Apparently, he said my studio will fail if they just try to copy my games after I die. Like, this guy's already talking about death and shit. Like, because he just, like, the development cycles have made this guy think about like dying.
Yeah, it's like, it's gonna take me 10 years to develop this game. I'm gonna be 80.
Yeah.
And then from there, like, it's literally like game over, right? So
anyway, that's the news for the week. I do not have anything new to talk about for games I've been playing. I've just been playing more Mario Kart. I love it. I've been playing more Elden Ring Night Rain. I'm pulling my hair out because of it. I only have 2 wins on the thing. I don't know what's going on, man. My friends have all, not all of them, one of them is also in the same boat as me, only has 2 wins. The other guys seem to be getting lucky with the third random that they pick up, and now they're on the final boss. They beat all other bosses, all 7 of them. Yeah, so I am behind, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be playing this game. Like, I probably have 30 hours into it.
100 years until you turn into Verso.
Yeah. But so nothing to talk from my end. I'm going to open the floor to you because you've been playing the most interesting release of the week. And I want to get into your mind's eye to understand how you feel about this game.
Yeah, so I entered the Matrix. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, Mindsye. Oh, what an interesting week for this developer. Brand new developer. First game, Build a Rocket Boy, which is a spin-off from that one GTA producer, right? So like not even like the biggest name to GTA, but people were excited for it. This game got showcased at what was it? Video Games Awards, right?
Sorry, Leslie Benzies, just the guy's name. He is I just pull out his repertoire. Grand Theft Auto 5 producer, game designer. Max Payne 3 executive producer. LA Noire executive producer. Red Dead Redemption executive producer, lead designer. Grand Theft Auto 4, Manhunt 2, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, San Andreas, GTA 3, all a producer or development director, executive producer, lead designer, all that kind of stuff on these games. So like the man has,
he's got
name behind him.
He's got like previous big projects, right? I think Red Dead Redemption is also one of his driving forces for what he's working on.
He's not on Red Dead 2. It seems like he left.
The original one, right?
Yeah, the original one. It seems like he left in 2018 before.
Mm-hmm. And then he had left due to royalties dispute. That's what I think I'm seeing.
Yep, you're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he started this new studio, Build a Rocket
Boy. Yeah, 2018.
Yep, and then game finally released this week.
Published by IO Interactive.
Yes, so it's big names all around. I think there was a lot of investment dollars, if I was reading this right, too, for this game or into this studio. So what it is, it's a game that's set in the near future in Las Vegas. So, very much like Cyberpunk being set in the near future in like a very popular city. You play as, what is his name? Jacob Diaz, I believe his character's name is. I like space out whenever they talk because it's so boring. But yes, you play as like this ex-soldier that has lost his memories, and then now you're working for a Tesla-esque company as security. And you're just trying to basically fill in the gaps of your memory is like a big driving force of this game. But there seems to be like aspects of espionage and like political scandal behind like the whole story of the game. It is not. It is not that deep. Like I find that the story is kind of predictable. Like you just slowly find out more things about what's going on in the world, and you're kind of like just the super soldier behind it all. The gameplay is like you would think is like crazy because the developer behind it like did GTA and like these big open world games, right? But all it is get into your car, then you drive to this location, and then you get out of your car, and then you suddenly are shooting people, which the AI is garbage, or you are on a drone and you're doing something silly with the drone, like killing people with the drone. And then you get back into your car, and then you drive to the next place, and then you get out, and then it's like rinse and repeat, the exact same thing.
How many hours have you played?
I think I'm like 6 or so hours deep. Like the game I've heard is not very long in itself, but it is like a game that I have to like play 2 hours, put it down, take a break, come back, and then play 2 hours, take a break, rinse and repeat, because it like I fall asleep during the gameplay. The enemies are so easy. Like there's cover that you can kind of hide behind when you're fighting these enemies, but like I've used it like maybe a handful of times. You can just walks right in their face and shoot them almost.
How is the performance?
The performance,
you're playing on PC. You're playing on
honestly, isn't that bad on PC.
Okay.
It's playable. So I think a big complaint to this is that the amount of cutscenes are in this. So Steam has like a 2 hour gameplay refund, and the first 2 hours is like so many cutscenes.
You were saying you were concerned that this was done intentionally to avoid
people like going through the refund process, because I think the first 2 hours of the game is like, I want to say like 30-40% of just cutscenes, where you're just kind of sitting there like watching this guy. There isn't a way to like skip the cutscenes, if I'm not mistaken. I tried doing it more recently because it's kind of like getting to the point where I don't care about the story. I just want to like try and finish it just to have like a full game experience. But yeah, I think some of the cutscenes, some of the longer ones, are unskippable. So you are forced to watch them, and then that adds to the 2 hours, right? Okay. But yeah, performance wise, when I first initially launched it, before the patch, I think that came live like 2 days ago or a day ago. Yeah. It was very jittery. So like I'd have like these frame rate, almost these jitters when I'm looking around the world. It's a little bit jarring. There's complaints of like NPCs like bugging out and stuff like that. I haven't really experienced too much of the NPC doing that. Sometimes the mini map will do it. I've noticed where like if you stop accelerating on your car or something like that, then the mini map kind of freaks out and it tries to bring you a different direction, or the pathing goes all funny. But nothing like the NPCs like glitching through stuff and stuff like that. There are a lot of gameplay gripes I have about it as well. So it's kind of supposed to be an action adventure. So I get that parts of it is going to be linear. Yeah. But it's almost like a little bit too much. So the world itself is very beautiful. It's built on Unreal Engine 5. So like driving down the strip of Las Vegas and like the suburbs of Las Vegas, everything looks like really pretty, to be honest. Like in that aspect of nailing it, they nailed it like Dragon Age did, right? Like you have the beautiful backdrop for your game. But let's say if you veer off course for too long, it restarts your mission. So if you're supposed to be like chasing this vehicle, and if you veer off from it, then it restarts you. Or like,
so is it open world, or is it just pretending it's open
world? It's pretending, I think, to be open world. Because if you don't follow their path, or even like they have like this timer for like, oh, this should get you should be able to get to this place in that long. If you, I think, take too long on certain main missions like that, then they'll restart you again. And then this morning when I was playing it, there was like this drone mission. So there's only one way to kind of enter this building, but let's say if you want to like, just take a look and fly higher to see what's going on. Once you hit a certain point, it restarts your mission again, saying that you failed.
Oh, so it's trying to
or the most egregious one. So like you get home, you've finished your cutscene. If you so the car is supposed to be right in front of your house, but it's say if you take the other door outside of your house and kind of loop around the house, instant restart your mission right in front of like the door that you should take out to enter your car. So it's very jarring in the fact that like they want you to play in a very, very linear fashion, even though
it's a full restart. It's not like
it basically like resets you to where you should be.
Jeez.
So it's crazy, like, man, almost like treating you like as a kid, because like the AI is super easy. The pathing is like you have to do it this way. some of the missions just kind of don't even make sense. Like you're flying this drone inside of somebody's house to like spy on them, but like there's like noise levels and stuff like that. But like it doesn't even matter. Like you just the only thing that you can't do is fly in front of them. So like why do I care about the sound and all that stuff? Like just say that your drone is silent and you just kind of like have to hide from them.
It just seems like an incomplete game.
Yeah, I think it is very. People are comparing this to like Cyberpunk 2077 post launch.
Like not feature complete.
Yeah.
Bugs. The AI is not all great.
Yep. And then like the crashing and the performance issues. Not so much for PC, I guess, because I am running like kind of a more like higher range PC. Not like Nvidia like 3080 or sorry, I guess 5080 or 5090 level, but like I guess mid to high tier. And like it's running fine, but like I hear PS5 is having issues, Xbox is having issues.
Well, on that note, PS5 is actually now offering refunds for the game, which is a rare thing to get refunds on a PlayStation Network for a game you've played.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you get away with it for a game you haven't played that you maybe purchased accidentally. And this kind of reminds us of what happened when Cyberpunk 2077 came out on PS4 back in 2020.
Yeah,
when
they delisted exactly that, though, right?
They delisted it. Yep, for several months after it came out, you couldn't play Cyberpunk on a PlayStation.
Yeah, they didn't delist this one. Not that I've heard.
No,
but yeah, I do have to say they did launch, I think, a patch, and they announced that they're going to be patching it going forward. That did resolve some of my jitteriness on PC. So it is a lot smoother now in terms of like I don't notice like this kind of like weird, almost like micro jitter when you stop moving the camera.
On Thursday, yeah, you're right. On Thursday, they said that our teams are working tirelessly throughout the night to solve many of these issues, and we have now identified that the vast majority of crashes were caused by a memory leak. This impacted roughly 1 in 10 of our players. I don't know exactly what that means.
I don't know if I believe that.
Me neither, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there are some good things about it. Like, I have no issues with the voice acting. I feel like the voice acting is pretty solid. The environment is really pretty. I just wish it was like more open world. Like, the thing is, I don't know why they decided to add like people walking the streets and like robots walking the streets if you can't interact with them. Like, the only thing you can do is like shoot them and run them over, right? I feel like there's a lot of traffic, so it's kind of like realistic to the fact that like you're in a highly densely populated city. Like driving the car is like kind of annoying because there's so much traffic around you. I also don't really like driving the car around. I feel like it's very rubber bandy.
Oh,
yeah. I feel like the physics behind driving just aren't there, even though they like. I remember in the video games awards, they were like saying how driving is such an important aspect of this game, but I feel like the physics were just not there for me.
I didn't find whatever we saw with this game really interesting based on what they were claiming it was.
Yeah,
like I think me and you both felt like it was not going to be a hit before it came out.
Yeah,
you especially.
Yeah, I think we both looked at it and we're like, this is like not something like they were clearly, I feel like, over promising. And when someone's over promising something, they either don't have the direction or they're just trying to like really sell the game so that people buy it and then they can just run away with the money. Right. Because they were like, we watched that trailer and then we didn't know what they were trying to sell us. Right. Like they were saying it's like espionage and AI and like action.
GTA and linear. Yeah.
Like it can't all be all of those things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just the controversy that like led up to all of this happening, release. Right?
Yeah. No review codes given out to any outlets. And we're not talking about a review embargo the day of release, similar to a Cyberpunk situation where the review embargo was, like the day before. We've seen this where it's like review embargo day of release doesn't sound good on paper, usually means bad news. Like they're trying to get people to buy or pre-order the game without reviews coming out, but no code before the game comes out. And so the game came out, the day it came out, there were no reviews online. like outlets like IGN and stuff had to, buy their own copies and play the game after release. Usually that's a bad sign. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily a bad sign because Switch 2 was exactly that.
Yeah.
Right? Like there were no codes for the Switch 2 or any of the Switch 2 launch games.
But let's be real, they were holding like experiences for the public, not just reviewers, the public. Yeah. Right. So like we knew that everything was fully baked. Like they were working on it for a very long time. And we basically saw everything. Like the leaks told us everything we needed to know. Yeah. And then was it a few weeks ago for Build a Rocket Boy Studios, there was like 2 studio C-level execs resigning a week before the release.
There's the CFO and the I can't remember who.
The CFO, and there was like I think the law chief legal officer, I can't remember. Anyways, there was 2 C-level execs like leaving your company like a week before the release. Like, come on, something must be happening in the company, right? And then the weird situation where one of the staff was saying like, the reason why we'll get bad reviews is because there's a smear campaign that will be run against us or whatever. Just like, really, is your game just bad, or is it because somebody is spending that much money to run a smear campaign before your game is even released, right?
Yeah. It feels very much like a Cyberpunk 2077 launch thing, but I don't think this thing has the legs to come back like Cyberpunk did.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a very heavy uphill battle because this is like their first game.
What do you think happens to this studio, and what do you think happens to their other game that actually was announced before this game? Do you remember a game from a Summer Games Fest called Everywhere, which is this like massively multiplayer online game and like a game platform, almost like a Roblox type thing that they were trying to create?
Yeah, so I think,
do you remember this?
I think that was like mentioned in like some aspects of this of Mindsye. Even there was like on some of the special missions, like you kind of go back in time and like you play these little weird mini game things. I feel like that's what they were trying to do, because I think you could like, there's some sort of feature that I don't know if was coming or not, where like you can build like certain mini games and stuff, or like certain scenarios, which was I think what they were trying to like showcase in those weird memory events.
Yeah,
like it's just so weird. I think that that's gonna get canned immediately, and I don't even know if this studio exists after this.
Yeah, this seems like a one and done. I don't know if this Everywhere game is going to come out. I don't think this was a great game for IO to publish too as their first game.
Yeah,
I know it's not IO actually developing it, but it's not good PR. So I don't know. Right now, sitting at 43 on Metacritic, worst rated game of the year. That's the critics score. I mean, only 6 reviews right now because again, nobody had codes. The
Steam store is also super bad for
I wonder what
reviews.
The user score is 2.5 on Metacritic. Yeah, let's see what it is.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are having issues running Unreal Engine 5 as well.
Oh, you're saying people's PCs are having trouble?
Yeah.
Unreal Engine 5 games.
Yeah.
Mostly negative right now on Steam. Yeah, I don't know. The game never felt like it was very inspired to me. Like aside from all the bug stuff and everything else about
it seemed like it was just pandering to like the sci-fi genre people are fans, right? Like you got your electric cars that make noise, and they made some stupid backstory for that. So like I guess kind of the cars looked a little bit cool, and then the character has like all these augmentations, and then you're kind of in a like near future Las Vegas, so like everything's kind of more futuristic. Yeah, man. I think I don't know what they were doing with this, to be honest. Like I think this is our probably like worst game of the year.
Well, I mean, according to the reviews, it is.
Like if this and Dragon Age came out at the same time,
and I played Dragon Age didn't have the bugs, I guess.
Yeah,
it had other problems, but
it had other problems, yes. But like honestly, the gameplay is better on Dragon Age, to be honest.
Of course. Yeah, you said you actually liked the gameplay.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Yeah, it was just a little bit repetitive, but like it's better than this, where it's like repetitive but also like nonsensical. because you can just like almost walk up to enemies and shoot them. Like you just stand still and then you just like move left, aim for their head, shoot once. Aim right, aim for their head, shoot once, they're dead. And then the healing is also like super, super quick. Like you hide behind cover for like a few seconds and you're back up to 100%.
Oh, really? It's like is it like a, what's the word I'm trying to find? Like a cover shooter?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a cover shooter, a third-person cover shooter.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Mindsye. That's Mindsye. Anything else to say there, Durwin?
No, I don't know if I will finish this. Like I hear the story's like only 12 hours long, so I'm like halfway done. So like,
I'd be pretty surprised if you finish it. To be honest with you, I'm surprised you're as far as you are. 6 hours is pretty crazy.
The issue is like this game's like quite a bit of money. It's like $77 technically.
So it's a full price game.
It's like a full price game. So like
minus the $10, that newer games have been coming.
Yeah, exactly right. So like, if you do buy this game, then you should really finish it, not just like, or you get a refund if you can qualify. Yeah, like I see on Reddit that some people are able to get refunds, but some people aren't from Sony. So I think it's very hit or miss.
Interesting.
So
this is PS5 only. No, it's not like a PS4 or something.
No, PS5 only, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this is an example of why like these stores need better refund policies, especially Steam. Like sorry, Steam should be their example. Is what I mean of a solid refund policy.
I mean, that's the point of reviews, right? Like, if a game has not sent out code to reviewers, I automatically get suspicious of that, right? Like, the heck did I just do? Am I still there? Yeah, I don't know, Derwin. Like this has happened a few times now, but
yeah, I feel like there's always like something like this that happens every few months, or not every few months, but every like few years, where like you get like a super hyped game, and then like it's completely underbaked, but then they still push it through.
There's like once a year. I kind of saw the writing on the wall for this one, to be honest with you. Like I could have guessed this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't think we missed with that.
Any games on your radar coming out soon here that you want to hop into?
What's our release schedule looking like? I
think we got. You mentioned the Alters.
Yeah, Alters. I don't think that's a game for me. That one's more of like a resource management / like Fallout Shelter kind of game. It sounded like, right? So
yeah. FBC Firebreak.
Nope.
No, not for you. Did you see that Disney Tron game?
I did. It doesn't look good. I was a little bit like hyped for it because I'm like, oh, I'm an IP like sucker.
You are.
So yeah, I am excited for the new Tron movie though, but that doesn't come out until later. It's probably going to be Rematch. I think you mentioned that already.
Yeah,
I think
Rematch. Yeah,
I think that's the only one that I'm like, yeah, I want in on.
Death Stranding 2.
I don't think so.
I'm skipping this one. I think I already said. I mean, like I was planning earlier this year to play Death Stranding 1 or play a little bit of it just to like kind of prep for Death Stranding 2, but I mean, with the release schedule and stuff and some of the other games I'm looking forward to in July.
Yeah, and I still have to finish Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah. I do also want to try and get into Indiana Jones. The fact that DLC is coming out and that I hear that the story is pretty solid. I actually really do like Indiana Jones. It's like Uncharted, basically, right?
More IP stuff for you.
No, the story. Okay, I'm watching it for the story, just like Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade story.
I'm playing it for the story.
Are you gonna get Stellar Blade for PC? I guess.
I think I do. I might wait for a sale for that one. Just because we've got so much on the go, and it's not like a brand new game that's coming out, right? That's releasing.
Man, there's a Ninja Gaiden Ragebound demo on Steam right now. Oof.
That must have came out during their fest, their Summer Next Fest.
Yeah, I'm seeing physicals of this game. I wonder how much it goes for. Anyway, I don't really have anything else to bring up. We've kind of been really busy with episodes and stuff, so it's kind of nice to chill out here. End of Summer Games Fest, caught up on all the news, caught up on all the releases. Yeah, there's no price for the physical release here, I see. Thanks for joining us, guys, for another episode. Remember to like and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. If you could like and leave us a comment, that'll help as well. And it's the Slow Run Cast everywhere. So we'll see you guys next week with some more news and some of the things we've been playing. And have yourselves a good week. Peace out.